So, rumor mill has it that possibly we could begin an update, another trailer, or even the release of Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 in the next couple of months. I heard that rumor, whether it's true or not, I'm still excited, and I wanted to talk about some predictions I had about what we might expect in Chapter 3. Real quick, before we get into it, I just want you to know these are just predictions. I have no proof that anything's gonna be true here. I just kind of want to make some guesses because I think it's just kind of fun, and who knows, if I'm right, that's cool. If I'm not, I love being pleasantly surprised. So with all that said, let's get into it, all right? Okay, so the first prediction I have is that whatever monstrous antagonist toy we're going to be going up against in this chapter, it's going to be something completely new we've never seen before. I don't think that we're going to see Boxibo be the main antagonist. I don't even think it's going to be Brawn. As much as I love Brawn, I don't think it's going to be him either. Mostly just because in the past, now this is only going off 2 chapters here, we never saw a teaser for Mommy Longlegs in chapter 1. Now I could be wrong, and as they now have more chapters, more resources, all that kind of stuff, we could see something, but I honestly think that it's going to be something brand new and not a returning antagonist. Next thing I want to talk about is I do believe there will be a returning toy, and I definitely think it's going to be Huggy Wuggy. Starting with that analog horror VHS tape that we got a little while ago, I think Huggy's going to return, but I think it's going to be a brief cameo. My prediction is that we are going to be chased and cornered by Huggy, and just before he gets us, I think Kissy Missy is gonna come in and save the day, and we're gonna see a giant kaiju battle. It's gonna be like Mothra versus Godzilla. I think that would be so fun, and that Kissy Missy is gonna save us and possibly even sacrifice herself to keep us safe because she knows what we're doing is to help everyone. Next, I want to talk about the gas mask play mechanics. So I don't necessarily think we're going to get a new working hand thing. Hello everyone, this is future Pixel talking here in the editing booth. So I did find out that they actually did confirm we're going to be getting more hands to use in the next chapter. So I just wanted to make that quick note that I was wrong here, at least about possibly not getting hands. Again, we will be getting more hands, but I think we will be using them in tandem along with the gas masks. So just a quick editor's note, moving on. Instead, I think the next gameplay change up we're going to get is going to be with a gas mask. Kind of like what we see in other games where you'll have to put on some sort of protective gear to go through a hazardous area. I think we will have a gas mask, and we're going to explore hallways and mazes full of gas, and that maybe the gas mask will only last a certain amount of time before we have to refill it. Add a new difficulty challenge to the story that's going to be more than just puzzles with the hands and running from toys in a scripted chase sequence. I think we're going to get a brief appearance from the prototype. Possibly might see a silhouette of the prototype in the background, just like a brief little silhouette. We're not going to see the whole thing, but something to give us an idea of how big this thing might be. I think we're going to see a lot more of the prototype in this, or at least a little bit more than what we've seen before. I think we're going to hear a lot more about Harley Sawyer, aka the Doctor we heard about in Project Playtime, the little VHS cassette that was some bonus footage that we got. I don't know how much more information we're going to go into it, but I think we're going to start seeing some paperwork and other things that Sawyer had left behind, and possibly leading to knowing a bit more about him and what's been going on within the factory. Next, I think we are going to see a minor appearance from Boxibo. Either we're going to see leftover remains of Boxibo, or even just the cardboard cutouts of Boxibo as we explore deeper into the factory. Like I said, I don't think he's going to be a major player in this case, but he will appear in some way, shape, or form, and I would love to see that because I think Boxibo is really cute and a really fun toy. The other thing I feel about with Boxibo and Brawn is that they might bring them in as kind of like mini side antagonists, kind of like how we saw with Bunzo Bunny and PJ Pugapillar in Chapter 2. The reason why I think that is because as we've already seen them, they've been teased, they can come off a little ominous. So I think in this case we are going to see them as side antagonists that are going to try to stop us, that are working under the big main toy antagonist or even the prototype itself. I definitely think we're going to get more information on the bigger bodies project that Harley Sawyer was talking about. They really teased that in Project Playtime. I'm hoping that they elaborate a little bit more on it. Of course, give us a little more breadcrumbs, not going into too much detail, but hopefully enough to kind of get the gears going in our little theorists' ideas. You know, hopefully we have something that we can go off of and speculate even more. I'm going to be honest, I don't think Poppy is going to be in the antagonist of Chapter 3, at least not yet. I think Poppy's going to play a big role throughout the game, as Poppy, her name's in the title. So I think what she's doing is not necessarily being an antagonist, is using us to help her. She's using us for selfish reasons, but she sees it as a bigger picture, as kind of helping everyone, maybe, in a sense. She will lead us into bigger, more worse problems. I want to talk about something that is going to sound a little more gruesome, but I'm really hoping they go the more darker horror route with this, as I feel like they've been playing it safe with kind of like bloodied up toys in the corners and stuff like that throughout the first 2 chapters. I'm hoping we get like a pile of these toys, these inactive toys, if you will, and I want to see more of it, piles of them. I also, this is going to sound really bad, I want to see more of what happened to all the workers. I can't imagine all the workers were turned into toys, especially because it seems like they're really leaning towards turning the children into toys. So I'm hoping we start seeing remains of ex-workers, because what happened to them all? Unless they're all giant toys, giant monstrous toys, that, or I kind of want to see a little bit more horror. I know sometimes, you know, I definitely believe it's not all about the gruesomeness and the gore when it comes to horror games. I would like to see them take a slightly darker turn, and I'm hoping we do see that, especially what we were shown in the Huggy Wuggy Escape analog video. We saw the devastation, and I think that could really make a good impact, letting us know that how dangerous these toys can really be. I'm hoping we can see a lot of the devastation these toys have left behind. I'm kind of expecting now to see some Easter eggs to Project Playtime, kind of like leftover things from the extractors from that game, since that game, I personally believe, takes place before the events of Poppy Playtime. So I think it'd be cool to see possibly things like their remains, maybe some of their clothing articles, like the suits we see in the trailer for that video. I think it'd be interesting to see some of those little things that could allude to the fact that they were there before you and you're starting to find them. This next one is kind of a given. We're gonna get more story breadcrumbs about what happened to the workers, the toys experiments, the prototype, the orphans, more on Elliot Ludwig. I know that, again, it's kind of obvious we're going to get that, but I don't think we're going to get any more direct answers. I think what we're going to get is just more things for us to speculate on. I feel like once we get towards like the final chapters, I'm assuming they're doing 5 chapters, I think they're just going to give us more to speculate on, and we won't get final answers until the final chapter. I want to thank everyone who came by to watch this video. What do you think of these predictions? Tell me your predictions down below in the comments. Again, I can't stress this enough that this video isn't about what we already know. We know we're going to the play care in this next chapter. We're going to be learning more, obviously, about the children in this. I'm talking about the other things we don't really know what we can expect. And again, I have no proof of if any of this is going to be true. These are just my wild thinkings. So again, let me know what your predictions are for this chapter, and I will see you all in the next video.